Hey guys, we're here today with Mr. Anthony Pangilinan, the man, and we are here actually in his office, cozy office, and we have a couple of questions as we start this podcast episode. The video will be published in YouTube and Facebook, but the podcast episode will be on Spotify and iTunes.
Okay.
So let's jump into our first question. Who is Anthony Pangilinan?
Who am I?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yung pala yung first question.
Yes.
You just introduced me.
That's the most difficult question for my guests.
Anthony Pangilinan is a child of God. Amen. I'm a father of 5, husband of 1. And as a profession, I'm a consultant in the field of business. But my real love is in seeing people transform. So whether that's through training,
Yes.
or coaching, or counseling.
Yeah.
So there's this range. But basically, I'd like to see people move from where they are now and where they can potentially be.
So what drove you? Were you ever employed before this? Before doing all of this training, coaching, change management?
Yes, actually, at a very young age, I had to stop school because I was elected as international president of a youth organization.
Wow.
That meant that I had to take my position as president in Belgium. So sweldohan na ako, no?
Oh.
I-
In a foreign country.
Yes, in Brussels. That's where the headquarters of ISEC was, Association Internationale des Étudiants en Sciences Économiques et Commerciales. Okay. Well, that's the name of the organization. I
Yes.
served for many years.
Yes.
So, as a student, I had to stop, and then I was employed
Uh-huh.
in that organization for officially as president for 1 year. But I had to come a few months before and had to stay a few months after. So I was on leave for 2 years.
Wow.
That was my first employment.
And you weren't afraid that parang, oh, some of my classmates are gonna move forward na and I'm gonna miss them. Kasi
Maybe
pag
afraid?
sinabi-
No, not afraid. Not afraid. In fact, I wasn't planning to come back.
Really?
Kasi parang they were telling me, and I could see that there were opportunities for me to even stay. You know,
Right.
maybe,
Yes.
maybe I'll finish my degree some other time, but
That's a
no, I felt called. I felt called to come back after that, and it was a humbling experience. You know, after calling countries by name. Yes, Nigeria. What you have to say? Yes, South Korea. Yes, and then now I'm back in the class.
Yes.
Raising my hand, a question to my professor because I really had to finish architecture.
Really?
Finish my course.
So you finished architecture.
Yes, I had 1 more year after my stay.
Interesting.
That was my original love. Still is my love, but instead of that being my course, parang siya yung naging extracurriculars.
Yeah.
Diba?
And now you don't practice it na in terms of building structures, but
Not
more
structures, but building people.
Building
Ah!
people, yes, architecture.
No, there's something that I picked up in Archie and that has stayed with me for the longest time until now. It's that it's a combination of left and right brain. Life is right. In architecture, you have to make sure that the building stands. So, you know, engineering has to be factored in. Tatayo ba yung poste niya?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So numbers are non-negotiable. Physics, you know, has to be factored
Yes.
in. But pag tumayo yan, magugustuhan ba ng tao? You know, you have to factor in the art
Design.
behind it, the design.
Yeah.
So function and design is life. Whether it's business, product, or architecture, or a human being, right?
Right.
So that I brought with me, and I think I continue to live by today.
So, graduating architecture, which by the way is a surprise for me, and going to internationally, helping other countries, no, voice out their thoughts. How did all of that lead you to what you're doing now, which is changing people's lives through coaching and training?
You know, when you're sitting in one of the national or international conferences, in this case, I was at ISEC, and we were discussing vision of the organization. And I remember this distinctly. I was with a representative of the organization from Germany, one from, I think, Japan, Italy. We were all deep into discussion because there are different committees. Pero sa amin na-assign yung vision. and we crafted the vision of the organization in the fulfillment, no?
Yeah.
Peace and fulfillment of mankind's potential. Yun yung vision. Yun yung naging North Star namin, which we had to defend the whole body, and it had to be passed by the Congress.
Right.
That stays within you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Fulfillment of mankind's potential.
Right.
So we're talking about training.
Yeah.
We're talking about change management.
That's where the idea came from.
Yeah, it was deep inside me that I wanted to see the fulfillment of every person,
Right.
or institution,
Right.
or society.
Galing.
So pumasok na yun sa system ko.
Yeah.
And training, consulting was a logical
Way to
choice.
do it. Yeah. But before, when you were younger, you really wanted to grow up to be an architect. Hence
Just
my
like-
course.
Just like my dad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Engineering.
Yeah.
You know, I think your dad kind of
Yeah.
inspires
Yes.
forces.
Yeah. So all of this, no, I think a lot of people, including me, are interested. What's your morning routine like? What's your average workday like doing all of these things?
Mornings with a word, you know. So this is my computer, and if you will see, it starts with a word, which means I have two devotionals that I use. Streams in the Desert, Utmost for His Highest.
Oh,
And then I read one chapter from the Old Testament, one chapter from the New Testament. For me,
wow.
renewing the mind,
Yeah.
you know, filling yourself up,
Yes.
right? Because when you're a consultant, when you are in legal training, when you are supposed to be motivating,
Yeah.
you gotta show up filled,
Yes.
right?
Which you do fantastically.
Show up filled, right?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there have been days I showed up empty.
Really?
Yeah, because you got out of bed and walang feeling, walang
Yeah.
reflection, walang
Yes.
motivation,
Right.
right? Walang impartation. I always thought that inspiration was from within. Maybe, but we don't just survive by inspiration. We need impartation. Kaya nagagaling sa labas. Right?
Yeah.
So if I'm a creative thing, I need impartation from my creator. And then when I'm imparted to, I feel like I can pour out. So that's the first part of my day. And it's always the first part of
How
my
long
day.
would that take?
Anywhere from 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. And my wife knows that I will talk to God first for her.
Yeah.
On a typical day, of course, I don't always live
Yeah.
a typical day. There
Yeah.
are days you kind of, you deviate from. But I would say about 5 times a week.
Yeah.
That's a practice. Then it's getting ready for work.
Yeah.
And work is either here in the office or home.
Mm-hmm.
So at least twice a week I'm home.
Yeah.
So I'm a lot of thinking, a lot of reflecting,
Yes.
a lot of, we design courses. So I
Yeah.
don't have to be here. I shouldn't be here because
Yeah.
I need to focus.
Yes.
And then about 3 times a week I'm here.
Right.
Or I'm at clients'
Right.
venue conducting a program.
It's a lot. So you're doing a lot, no? How many
Yeah, but I
people
work
work
with
with you?
people.
How many people work with you?
Full time, about a dozen.
A dozen people.
But I work with a lot of my partners.
Yeah. Yeah.
They come in from time to time. They provide their service, their
Yeah.
specialization, their talent, and then they're off back to their offices like you.
Yeah. But like people, we need people helping us out. Can't do it. Especially you're doing isang training pala, isang workshop pala, gusto yung oras natin.
I live by more and more what I picked up from Jim Collins. That when it comes to getting things done, it's the first who then what principle,
Yeah.
right?
People
Yes, first who, and then saka na yung what. And I've seen myself, evolve in my ways. Early on in life, it was first what, then who.
Really?
Yeah, you wake up in the morning, or you're looking at your planner. Okay, the things I have to do this,
Yeah.
diba? And then, oh my God, saan ako yung nagtulong para dito? Parang gano'n, diba? You either do it yourself or you delegate, right? You ask for help.
Yeah.
So it was first what,
Yes.
that was your to-do list, and then
Who?
who,
Then
right?
what, yeah.
Right? If not you.
Yes.
Ngayon, baliktad na. Sinubukan ko yung sinabi ni Jim Collins last integrate.
Yeah.
First who, then what? Which means when you have a need when it comes to search engine optimization, for example. who am I to start thinking what I should do? I should call Sean, because it is the who that will tell me what.
Yeah.
Right? It's more efficient.
Yeah.
It's also it's wiser. Why would I spend time trying to figure out what when the who is around me with the expertise and the experience, and they will tell me what. So when I start my week or any given period where I have to reach a goal, that's about then kausapin mo yun, siya magsasabi sa'yo kung dapat mo gawin.
That makes sense.
Oh yeah, and it lends yourself to community, collaboration, and getting more things done.
And so, you've trained so many people. I mean, I know a lot of the people you have, how do you say it, taken with you through your journey. And now they're also speakers in their own right, trainers in their own right, competitors in, you can say no, competitors in their own right. And one thing that boggles me as a speaker myself, and I don't do it full time, naman. For me, I do it as a work of passion. Thank God I have that opportunity. But for other speakers who do it as their livelihood, one thing that always boggles me is how do you scale it up? How do you try to make the business bigger when you are required to be there on stage or to be there in the office training people, and you cannot split yourself? We all have 24 hours a day. That's a dilemma. And a lot of these people who you have brought along and, you know, quote unquote, have graduated in their journey, wala namang royalty from them. So how do you scale it up?
Pwede bang first who then what? Ngayon first who then how?
Yes, up to you. How do you want to?
No, seriously. I mean, I just hit me. It's who then how, which means that when I try thinking of how to do it on my own, again, it doesn't work. Well, maybe I can scale it up a bit. But when I work with the right kinds of people, when I train the right kind of people, apprentices. So who you choose is so important.
Yes.
They scale it up for you. They give back to you. You don't even have to tell them. You know, they will find a way to repay. You know. Well, not everyone. It's good mga 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10. That's a good number.
Hindi lang utang na loob. It's because they know that having seen your expertise and the fact that you continually master what you do, your craft, they will come back and seek collaboration, seek partnerships, seek joint projects. So importante rin na you keep on investing in yourself. Because right now, as I think about it, the last 2-3 years, my biggest projects were all in collaboration with people I trained.
Wow.
And some of them were initiated, many of them were initiated by them, not by me. When you train the right person, they themselves will make sure that you will scale your ministry, your business, your advocacy through collaboration. When you train the wrong person, then you have equipped weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, that's true, no? I remember I read this from somewhere now. If you put a thief through school, even if you educate the thief, not only will they steal the nuts and bolts, the entire railroad. Right. So that's very right.
But of course, there's the create something like a platform or even a book, right? You know, you have to look at passive income. That really helps.
Yeah.
So that you don't have to be keeping opening your mouth. You don't have to keep going out there on stage to multiply your wealth, right? So if you create a system that people go back to even when you're not there, to rely on, and they log in and they use your tools and they use your material and they end up promoting your Facebook site or your Instagram site or your Twitter handle and all that stuff. then scaling happens.
Yeah. All of that helps.
Yes.
And
Yeah, for example, I interviewed 75 people on my last public affairs show, The Boardroom, with CNN, right? And by scale, you mean multiplication, diba?
yes.
Interviewing 75 people on CNN,
Yeah.
CEOs, and influencers who themselves promoted the shows, right?
Yeah.
That
Because they were there.
yes, they were there, and
Yeah.
then it spreads into their organization, and then into their own circles of influence.
Yeah.
Then 75 times is
Yeah.
multiplication.
Yeah.
Because you didn't just interview them,
Yeah.
you interviewed them, and now they have the material.
Yeah.
When shared, brings you with it.
Right. That's true.
Like what you're doing now.
Yeah. Exactly. and so all of these things have enhanced you, as a trainer, as a coach. We all have had those tough times. What in your recollection was the toughest day or event that happened through your years of training and coaching?
Wow. Yung sinabi ko kanina.
Which one?
Oh man, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to see your face.
Yeah.
And you're about to go on stage, and nobody
Yeah.
wants to see you up on stage. Yeah.
That was tough. I was imagining if it was me, then I don't know what I'm going to do.
I think you would. You do the same thing. You'd apologize for being late.
Yeah, but you kept your cool with the people who forgot the materials.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it happens, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's anxiety happens. So, what is the most difficult? I think I said it earlier. When I had imparted something of great value to someone who didn't store it right,
And it has happened.
even use it against you.
Oh man.
That's okay. That was very painful. Parang binigyan mo ng bayad, ginamit sa'yo.
Yeah.
Sakit yun. What? You don't react, you respond. That's part of leadership. So that even when they treat you this way,
Yeah.
they curse you, you bless back, right? Because that's what leadership is. It's my example. I'm showing them the right way. It's being the person on higher ground.
Yeah.
Right?
So after that, I'm just curious. Did you kind of enhance how you pick people you mentor? Did you optimize it better?
Yes, but more than that, was just to learn from it. Kasi iba when they go through a difficult time, I'm not going to go through this again. Parang ganun na.
Yeah.
They
Just quit.
never again will this happen. No,
Yeah.
it might happen again, right? So on one hand, yes, I chose people more carefully. Not because I've always been choosing carefully, not because I don't want to get hurt.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I entrust the valuable thing to the right people. Stewardship, right?
Yes.
But for me, what's more important is trouble will come, and what's important is you learn from that, right? And if you allow it to transform you, right? Even if the others who have done it, you don't learn from it. What's important is that you learn from it, you be transformed in the process, and then you still win. You still win. Yeah, I would say those would be the toughest times training yourself. Otherwise, yung iba, minor na lang. Yung mga may nasabing masakit yung nag-evaluate sa'yo.
Yeah.
Ganon.
That's what you're right?
Just this morning, we were looking at the evaluations, the past program. Okay naman, kahit 9 out of 10 maganda, yung 1 na hindi maganda, yung masakit. Di ba?
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Di ba? Ganda, wow, yes, ang tagas, man, nagsabi isa. But he did this, he should have done that. Why did he say that?
Yeah.
So, look at that as a gift. Diba? Mas maganda ng criticism, kesa saying wala.
Yeah.
Mas patakot ka sa walang sinasabi pero nasa loob.
Yeah.
And there's a saying, right? Criticism won't hurt you unless it should. And, ano ba yun? No one throws stones and a fruitless tree. Right? So kung may nagbabato, ibig sabihin may putas na nakikita. Walang putas, di walang bato.
Ganda nun ah.
Oh, that really is, those are the thoughts that make you say, okay, this goes with the territory.
Yeah. No one throws stones at the fruitless. Galing. And we're down to the
No one kicks the dead dog.
No one kicks at it. Yun ba yun?
Isipayan mo lang yung asong makulit, di ba?
Oo.
Yeah.
So, ibig sabihin, ano pala, pag
sinisipa ka na, ibig sabihin, you're making a difference.
Making noise.
Your presence,
Yeah.
You're making noise, and it's annoying.
Yeah. Galing. We're down to our last 1 or 2 questions.
Sure.
So, you have done coaching training for how many years now?
Since I was, you know what? Since I was 14.
14.
Because that's when I entered the student council in high school. And I started, being given assignments to train and to speak and to, promote student council's projects. So that's 40 years ago.
40 years old. Wow. Early start. 14 years old.
Yep.
That's when it ignited for the passion.
Yeah. Assistant treasurer for the student council was our I was 14 years old.
And so other people, they get ignited a lot later in life. What would you give them as an advice? They suddenly they realize they want to do it, they want to speak publicly, they want to train other people. Ano advice would you begin with?
Work on delivery. Without any doubt, when you're that age, you have a lot of content. Diba?
Yeah.
Wala. Marami ka na experience. Kahit na napakasama na experience mo, pag ginawa mong kwento yung masamang experience yan, kung yung natutunan mo, ganda ng testimony na yan. Which means, when you're at that age, there is no way you have nothing to share. There's a lot you can share, right? You just need to categorize and file, put it together. And then, work with your delivery. So when you're at that age, you have the content. For sure, you have the content. Now, do you have the delivery ability?
Yeah.
So, diyan ka mag-invest.
When you say delivery, is it just on stage?
Like what you're doing right now, on cam, right? Or on print, you can write, some of those stories, and then have it edited by somebody. Kasi importante yung packaging,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Ang dami ng platforms. Could be on social media.
Yeah.
Get some advice on how you can tweet more effectively. Get advice on how you can post more impactfully. Diba? That's delivery. So whether it's on social media or tri-media, television, print, newspaper, or one-on-one, in a counseling session, coaching session, or on stage, it's all delivery.
Yeah. Work on delivery.
Work on delivery because you have the content already.
Speaking about content, I interviewed Jason. One of the ways that, and this amazed me, how he gets his content is when he reads a book, he highlights it.
Right.
Some of the words and phrases that he wants to remember.
Right.
And then he asks someone to get that book and type it for him. Yung mga highlight lang niya.
Yeah.
That's how he files. And I hadn't done that. So that was brilliant for me because kung ako, I need to go back to it. Bumbat ko pa isa-isa. Do you do something like that?
Well, the last book I did on parenting, he said, with Maricel, was a recording of all our talks in DZFE. Because we did it for a number of years. So we got all the material, recording, and threw it a really good editor. And then she listened to it, and she transcribed it, and then same thing, highlight the ones worth, putting in the book, and then threw it to a writer.
Yeah.
Then we saw the book,
Really?
not in front of us. Of course, you comment a bit na, more handsome here.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Because
yes, of course. But it's not just what people write, it's what you experience. So if Jason reads a book and starts highlighting, I'm talking to you, I'm beginning to highlight things.
Yeah.
Yes. I walk out of this door and I highlight things. I see my daughter engaged in sports. Wow, she said something, or she did something that's so inspiring. I highlight that, and then I say that as a file. Because your stories are content, right? Your everyday experiences. That's content. So you have to be in a constant reading the situation and highlighting and filing mode, right? It's what happens on the street.
Yeah.
Somebody did this to you, gusto mo pag-away, pero you delayed your reaction.
Yeah.
You can share that tonight, as you begin your presentation, an anecdote of how it was this morning in traffic, So it's a constant an observer of life, I guess.
Yes.
You say, that's a nice story. I should bring that in. Ikaw na ikwento sa'yo yun, For example, about training. Training. And then, when I looked at the table, I saw a box. And then I got the box, and then I saw 5 holes. And I remembered, okay, 5 holes because 3 days ago, I taught my daughter, Hannah, how to use the BB gun.
Yeah?
Yeah, how to use the BB gun. But she was so excited to use the BB gun because before that, I told the story of how her older brother, Donnie, used the BB gun. That's in fact my gift to him. But Donnie was so inspired because his lolo used the BB gun.
Yeah.
And his dad did.
Yeah.
So when I looked at the results of that time with Solano, and I see first 2 shoots pa lang yan sa box, that's not enough. So I said to the trainer, right?
Yeah.
I just sat down, I said, what did I do? I told her a story, she was motivated. And then I drew her, going so important to when you're shooting.
Yeah.
I drew, and then whatever I'm gonna shoot has to be here. We drew it on paper. And then I gave her some safety tips before she starts using the gun. BB gun lang naman, yung mga small pellets, diba? And then I reminded her, to always point it up. So I just realized, my God, I did a training session.
Yeah.
Intuitively as a dad.
Yes.
Every dad's a trainer, every mom's a trainer.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't make life and training so complicated.
Right.
You'll get the results. She shot really well. If the person's inspired, right? If the person is taught well, is given standards, it's coached properly, it's behind her.
Yeah.
And that's the basics. And I didn't read that. I was just recalling an experience I had with my daughter a few days ago. Diba? Ganun lang eh.
Yeah.
Pakasitlihan natin.
That's true. And siguro to wrap it up, so we've been talking about training and your advice to other trainers, but you're also a businessman, and we have a lot of people tuning in who have the desire to start their own business. What would be your advice for them?
Training is just a tool, it's not an end. The end is higher productivity. The end is changed lives. Diba? More ROI.
Yes.
Kasi iba nangyayari, feeling nila, training is an end all, be all and end all. Diba? So kung napakagaling nilang training, or trainer, I will sell myself. It will sell itself. No, wrong. You gotta connect that to the purpose of business, the purpose of an organization. So my advice, which is my advice to everybody I train and I apprentice, get to know every aspect of the business. So what happens is when I train people, I bring them to clients. Watch this negotiation. And then I review the training budget. Okay, this is where you come in. Okay, but you're not the only cost, you're not the only cost. You have to look at it. Right? And then we look at different materials together. We watch them. Look what you did here.
Yeah.
And then we involve the team. You may be there on stage, but there's a team behind it. And they work with every member of the team. And some trainers quit immediately because they feel it's too complicated.
Yeah.
But they also don't end up, flying in the industry.
Yeah.
Because they don't have the business sense.
Right.
So ako, pag nag-apprentice ako, all aspects of the business.
Yeah.
You do your own PowerPoint, no matter how bad it looks.
Right.
At least know how to erase
Yeah.
a page and insert
Yeah.
a photo, you know.
Yeah.
So I can do that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of trainers today, unfortunately, the young ones, or the older ones who start thinking like they can delegate everything. No, I'm in the venue beforehand. I make sure that lighting is okay, the air conditioning is not too cold, the plants are in the right position.
Yeah.
Right? You have to look at your PowerPoint. Does it match with your handouts?
Yes.
Diba?
Yeah.
Are all the prices ready? So you gotta know all the details. Kasi pag alam mo yung details, then respetuhin ka ng assistant mo, respetuhin ka ng venue organizer, diba? Respetuhin ka ng audio man, diba? Kasi alam mo yung sinasabi mo. Pero kung hindi, wala. You know, they won't relate with you. And it'll be harder to lead them towards a successful training program. And you'll probably have one chance to conduct a program in a company. But if they see that the training program did not have a direct impact on sales, for example, revenue, or savings in bottom line, nice training, you know, but next.
That's tough, no? How do they attribute that? How can they attribute na yung training? Oh, it did an effect, it did a positive effect or bottom line, or it didn't.
That's why it's so important in needs assessment. That's why it's so important in pinag-aralan natin, is that you mutually agree on an evaluation tool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why it's so important that you understand the business. For example, if they tell you that in the last quarter, the last 2 semesters, pilferage was high.
Mm-hmm.
Diba?
Yeah.
So if I have one day with that group, 1 hour at least will be on values. 1 hour will be on a systemic intervention to avoid pilferage in your company. Or don't use the word pilferage, something else.
Yeah.
So 2 hours just to address the thing.
Yeah.
There will be effects. You will see the effects. So make sure your training program is attuned, you know, to the needs.
Yeah.
Right? And you have to know the needs beforehand. So in preparing for it, seeing the context is so important for a successful program.
And lastly, how can people find you in the podcast?
Oh, just get to type Anthony Pangilinan on Facebook, my public page, or Anthony Pangilinan on Twitter, Anthony Pangilinan on Instagram, you know. Or just send a message to Donnie. Donnie will refer to me. I'm more popular than me. So.
Okay. Guys, thank you.
Thank you guys.
That's all the time we have. I hope that you enjoyed with this episode and that you learned a lot as much as I did. Hopefully.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Bless you. Yes.